Hello? Can anyone around here speak basketball?
There it is.
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.
We're going back to back. Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Freddie Rivas, and who, sir, are you?
Producer Matty Dunks here live in Newmarket. How's it going?
I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. How are you doing? Is everything all right?
Yeah, it's as my father said, one day at a time. You just got to take it one day at a time. And but there's lots to be grateful for during this wild time, and you just got to kind of remind yourself of that stuff because, a lot of people have it a lot worse right now. So, and we're all in it together because that does help. The thinking that like everybody's going through these same feelings, it does help,
Hell yeah. And I think, we're going to keep rocking this, baby. And we're going to keep trying to think of fun basketball things to talk about and basketball distractions. But before we kind of describe the episode a little bit, if people want to, they're listening to us right now, but if they want to find us or kind of tell people where you can find us, what are some of the avenues for that, Matty boy?
You can go to dunkspodcast.com. We've got all our links there for you on the right for iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify. If you want to subscribe and rate, that would be great. And then you don't have to worry. You get the episodes when it's ready. And we've also got, everything else, the Instagram, the Facebook, and all that stuff on there too.
The works.
Yeah.
Twice baked potato with the works. That's what we got.
Yeah.
If people want to be an investor in our success, if they want to make this podcast grow, if they want extra content, is there an avenue for that?
Yes. Listen, you guys, majority of you probably don't have a job right now, but you got some money coming in from the government. Why not put it toward an investment into the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast so we can keep going and giving you the content that you deserve and possibly some non-expired hot sauce from Freddie.
The hot sauce is going to be wonderful and super spicy, super healthy. Not expired in any way.
Yeah.
And lastly, you just, we were talking about before we recorded this intro, it's snowing in Newmarket. And it's, I think, starting to snow here in Toronto.
It's snowing.
That means that people are going to have cold heads.
Yeah.
So
still need those
if you want to warm your head up and you want to make sure there's no itch, what might you do?
Yeah, you want to get an anti-itching Confederacy of Dunks toque. It doesn't matter if you have hair or no hair. You ain't getting a single itch on there, okay? And a lot of people have to put baby powder on their head when they put on toques.
Sure.
We've got a no baby powder guarantee. You're not going to need that.
Well, hell yeah. Like, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's just launch into today. So Matt kind of walks us through some a particular draft year. So we jump into history.
Back in time.
Back in time, we talk about H.O.R.S.E and the kind of self-isolation competitions the NBA is putting on. Obviously, we do some quickish questions. And I go deep on my 2K player, Federico Rivas. It's a pretty fun time.
Yeah.
I think, Matt, if you're ready, we should bring on these guests.
Okay.
Okay, so let's bring on guest number one. Two of my favorite guests today, so it should be a good old laugh. But that sounded really kind of not healthy the way I said that.
Nardwar.
But I mean it though. It's gonna be a good time. You just heard him. He said Nardwar. He just had a baby. This guy can back you up in the post, and he can sell you some healthy headphones. Give it up for Ian Gordon.
What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well.
We're doing okay.
Good.
Are you holding up? You doing all right?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, we're making the most of it. What can we do, right? We're social distancing. I go to the grocery store and I look at people like I want them out of my way, like I've never looked at anybody before in my life.
Yeah. And you're a
that's
tall
just it.
man, so.
Oh yeah, no, I this is when like I'm upset that all those doomsday preppers that I used to make fun of are have the last laugh, you know.
Yeah, they're probably pretty prepped right now.
Oh man, the preppers are prepped, baby.
Imagine if you were a prepper and like for whatever reason you had accidentally depleted your resources, but like you identified as a prepper.
You just got hammered one night and ate all your gruel.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It does seem like preppers really get a lot of like cans of like kind of like pink gruel. That does seem like a big thing.
Cans are huge in their world.
Okay, let's bring on guest number 2, who I hope has doom prepped himself. He's amazing. He's best basketball player I know in real life. Sorry, Rolando Francis, if you ever listen to this podcast, you're really good too. But listen, Alan's a bit better. So give it up for Alan Shane Lewis, everybody.
Yes, my music. I missed that.
Does it feel slightly nurturing during this time?
It feels very safe. It reminds me of a time where I was in close proximity to you fellows.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, yeah.
Remember that the before time?
Oh, the before time.
In studio, pre-pandemic, we must have had a laugh.
A couple of chortles or two, you know.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk some basketball, boys. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Okay. Cool. I really like.
Yeah.
I liked Matt's far away. Yeah, like he was getting like
Yeah.
yanked. He's getting yanked off of something as he said, "Yeah." Okay. Well, I want to talk some horse. So, Maddie, would you give me whatever sting you got?
All right. Let's test everyone out.
When I say Bobby, you say Webster, Bobby.
Webster. Perfect harmony.
Horse. So, for people who don't know what horse is, if you didn't grow up playing basketball, messing around, some people would play pig, but it was less fun because there's less letters. Basically, horse is a game where you have to recreate a move. Generally, there's no dunking. There's not too many dribbles. It's mostly shot based, but you can mix it up, and you have to create a move, and the other person has to replicate the move. If they can't replicate the move, then they get a letter, and the letter is H, and eventually it spells out horse. And if you get to the full spelling, well, bucko, you've lost the game of horse. So sorry, go ahead, Alan.
I was saying, like, I know there's no dunking, but I used to spam it back in the day, like jump as high as I can, touch the backboard, and like do something. That was how I used to win.
Oh, well, I feel like someone followed in your footsteps because I don't think I ever really played super athletic horse, but one of the matchups we'll get to, the contestant used their athleticism, and I mean, it just didn't seem that fair, but I guess that's kind of sports in general.
That's life, baby.
Okay, so horse, you got to replicate the other person's move. So first, let me just ask, Alan. I'll go to you first before I kind of explain who was in the competition. But did you watch this? Did you watch the horse competition?
I did watch the horse competition. Scrubbed through some of the more boring parts, but I watched every shot. Watched one in its entirety. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's a thing that we have to do now, and it was cool. I guess maybe I don't know. I'm torn.
Yeah, You know, Natalie Imbruglia, you're torn. It's okay. Ian, did you watch it?
Full disclosure, I did not watch the entire horse competition. I watched enough to get the gist of it. in my mind, I thought somehow, because we're so spoiled with sports, that I thought it was going to be like one-on-one in a gym somewhere. You know what I mean? When I tuned in and I was like, oh, they're in their backyards. I'm like, well, this is great. You know what I mean? Imagine watching, like, it's like, I can do that, you know? And I saw, who did the shot where they sat down? I'm like, I used to do that on the pavement and get up and I'd be wearing white shorts and they were like stained with cement. Like, I don't, you know, I'm just going to quietly sit in the corner and stare at the wall, you know, and wait and hope the season starts again.
Yeah, I think that's one approach. I've definitely been taking that approach. I've been taking, like, you know, I think a lot of people, various approaches, you know, during this pandemic, like, you know, freaking out, banging on the walls, to, you know, sitting down with my head out the window of my bathroom, you know, just like whatever.
Normal stuff.
But,
same.
Normal stuff. Okay, so I think it's fair to say, Ian, you found it kind of depressing. Alan, bit of a mixed bag. Is that right?
It felt it's kind of cool to see the human aspect of these players and, like, you know, their setup and how they're living and what they're doing. So it's cool to check up on them on that sense, but also, like, the reason why we're checking up on them felt kind of, you know,
I agree with Alan. I think it was cool to see, like, their, you know, what they kind of had and everything. That's kind of neat, but at the same time, you're like, damn, I just wish, you know, well, like, other sports aren't doing it. It seems it's weird. I'm glad the NBA is trying to do something.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it's cool in that sense. I don't want to be like a negative Nancy over here. It's kind of cool in that sense. It's fun, but you know, it's just like watching basketball and just like, I'm so, like, I've been trying not to think about how there's no sports. And when I see H.O.R.S.E, I'm like, right, yeah.
It's like a tease. Like, you know what I really mean?
Yeah, it's weird. It would be like, it's like somehow also, like, these guys are really, we're so used to watching them perform at such a high level and the competition and everything. It'd be like if there was like a live feed of like Superman and he was just like shuffling cards or something. Like, this sucks, you know. Or here's a live feed of the Flash walking at regular speed. This is kind of shit, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a pretty apt description, I would say. I think for me, I like, you know, just touching on what Alan was saying, like the human element, like seeing all their kids involved, and also just like from a commentator perspective, seeing, I'm forgetting his first name. Is it Jones, who is the commentator for all the matchups?
Oh yeah.
Is it Mark Jones?
I forgot his name.
Who's the brother of Paul Jones, covers the Raptors. Yeah, I just felt like it was nice seeing some familiar faces. I enjoyed seeing kind of like light trash talk. I thought there were a couple cool shots, which we'll get to a little bit, but also, you know, Ian, so you don't feel alone. I really did feel that existential dread. Like it was hard to remove that, because even some of the shoddy camera work, it was like, oh man, this doesn't look good, and it's like, oh well, it's probably like Chris Paul's son.
Yeah. And in fairness
Chris Paul's
to me,
son.
Yeah, it's true. Chris Paul's son.
Like that's who was filming it. You know, Paul Pierce had his son filming.
You're right.
Like,
you're right.
It was cool, but yeah, like
you're right.
There's that aspect of it was kind of like, man, yeah, like the Flash walking is pretty apt. Alan, me and you both watch this. Let's because I think, you know, you're feeling some of the human element with me, and by the way, the sitting down shot was Allie Quigley, who came back from playing in Russia because she had left the WNBA in that, you know, high profile kind of dramatic scenario. But Alan, is there any like shots that stood out to you, or just kind of like moments?
Yeah, I think what's his name? Mike Conley's offhand behind the backboard throw over. That was a cool one.
That was cool. I like Chris Paul's, his leg thing was cool.
The leg thing one? Yeah, that was a fun one. That's anything with balance and stuff like that. I liked what's his name? Zach LaVine's off the side of the backboard.
Okay, you know what? Of course you did. and I foreshadowed to this a little bit. Zach Levine was against like Paul Pierce, and I was like, oh, I hate Paul Pierce. This will be fun to see him, taken down a notch. And guess what? It wasn't fun. It was too sad.
I enjoyed that aspect. I'm like, if there's anyone who deserves this, it's Paul
Correct.
Pierce. We need to show the fact that he's a 40-year-old man and he's lost it.
I know. I was really happy Billups beat Trae Young because there's a part of me where I'm like, oh man, is this just going to be like an age thing?
Mm-hmm.
And also watch,
No, well, Trae Young's court, that was so small. That's not none of that was regulation. I don't care what he says. His free throw was shorter. His three was shorter. He was on an angle.
Also, Conley is in an actual gym. I feel like he's the only one who didn't have to deal with weather.
Yeah, which is I think is you got the money, do it. Here's the thing.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie. I do not necessarily care for outdoor basketball. I feel like there's another defender called the Elements, and I'm not a fan of that. So if you can remove that, more power to you.
Fair enough. But okay, let me just say, Zach LaVine, when he did the non-dunk dunk to Pierce, that's just cheeky. So basically, for anyone who didn't see it, he jumped over the rim and threw the ball in, but he didn't touch the rim.
Yeah, what are the rules?
So it was, I guess those are the rules.
It's totally fine, man. Make up the rules if you don't like it.
What was the best matchup? So you know what? I'll just break it down for anyone who's listening who didn't catch this. So it was Allie Quigley, former WNBA player, versus Chris Paul, and then we had Zach LaVine against Paul Pierce, Billups against Trae Young, and then it was Tamika Catchings. Tamika Catchings versus why am I blanking? Who's she playing?
Conley. Yeah.
So and the winners were Allie Quigley, Billups, Levine, and I'm blanking out right now. Conley did win, or did Tamika beat him?
No, Conley won.
Conley won. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll end on this. How about this, Alan? Give me if someone was going to watch this, if they're going to pick one to watch, which one should they watch? And then Ian, while Alan's telling us that, you give us a reason for hope in this dark time.
If you hate Paul Pierce, watch that one. If you're going for pure enjoyment, probably the one with Tamika Catchings and Mike Conley. That was probably, a good battle there. The best battle.
I'll second that. And Ian, do you have any hopeful thoughts?
You know what? I'm always looking forward to things, and if the season comes back, awesome. Who knows? But if not, the NBA draft will be cool. There'll be a lot of unknowns because there wasn't a tournament. A lot of big shots that would have been made didn't get made, so that'll affect how people are drafted and looked at. So there's always on to the next, and sports will come back.
Wow. That was actually quite profound, and my setup in my mind was more of a joke.
Oh, sorry.
So no, cheers to you, Ian, for basically just rocking that.
All right.
Okay, so let's hit up our next segment here. I think now is it time to talk about NBA 2K, Matt, or I think it's time.
Okay.
Give me whatever sting you got for my escape.
Can somebody get Nurse a fisherman's friend, please?
Maybe that's a little bit dark now, eh? That's
I know.
A bit of a dark sting. That was a pre-COVID sting, though. I didn't. I didn't get into that.
I gotta say, I think I'm trying to use this segment as a positive mental health thing. Something where we can all embrace our escape. Mine right now is NBA 2K.
Yeah.
And I just have to hear sounds of people coughing, desperately coughing. Good Lord.
This is a great time for Nick Nurse to get out there with his fisherman's friend endorsements.
I think so. I think that'd be a good PR move for Nick.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. I'm gonna get into the mood here. Alan, Ian. I started an NBA 2K player. His name's Federico Rivas, and I'm gonna tell you about the most recent developments, and then we'll open up the floor for questions after that. Matt, if you have anything inspiring. Thank you. So, his name's Federico Rivas. He's a shooting guard. He was modeled after Kobe, Bradley Beal, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But he's kind of like a Gravis Vasquez on a bad day. Right now he's 73 overall. And this is 2K20, by the way. Rosario Dawson is kind of my agent, but she's also like a girlfriend. It's pretty weird. She's about double the character's age. Every time I go into the neighborhood of 2K, which is kind of like this surreal place when you're not actually playing the game for 2K player, you're just surrounded by other players and their avatars kind of not moving. So it's not the best escape when you're in the 2K neighborhood because it looks like a lot of lifeless bodies. But let's talk about my on the court action, because that's where I'm starting to make some strides. That's right. It's getting dark, but I'm trying to keep it light here, folks.
I get it.
We're at game 20. This is when I get called into the office. Coach, who by the way is Nate Bjorkson. I don't know why it's Nick Nurse. Nate runs the practices. It's really pissing me off. I want to hear more Nick. But coach suggested I start. And I had two options. I could choose to accept the role and just say, hey, I'm ready, or be a bit of a ween and ask him who am I replacing. But listen, it's Norm. I know it's Norm. Obviously, I understand the grind way more than him, and I'm not making any apologies for that. So, sorry, Nate, I'm ready to start. Well, check this out. I didn't actually start that night. They were messing with me. They rattled me to the core. But game 22, I did start. It was against the Heat. It was my first start. And the most recent news for my player is that I absolutely got destroyed by James Harden. And instead of criticizing him after the game, I actually complimented James Harden. But yeah, trying to find a way for my player to stand out in this wild 2K world. And I want the Raptors to win the championship. And I'll open it up for questions.
The 10 points, 10 assists, that's your career high?
That's right. That's my best stat line. I did score 22 points in one game.
Which difficulty are we playing on?
Oh, I am on the absolute lowest difficulty. And let me tell you what, I turned the ball over at least 5 times a game.
Okay. Wonder if that was a hard 10 or a soft 10.
That's a hard 10.
It's a hard 10?
That's a hard 10. Yeah, like the thing is with me, I haven't played NBA or like serious gaming for probably like a solid 4 years, so I'm pretty bad. And the game wants you to do a lot of things. Like half the time when I go to set a screen, I run out of bounds.
Yeah, 2K20 ain't the best 2K. It's definitely on a decline.
I'll say this. I'm happy that I get to recreate some glory with the Raptors, although they're worse with me than without me, so that doesn't feel great. But I think I'll turn it around. Ian, do you have any questions about my 2K player?
Yeah, actually. Just be curious to know. Let's give a recap. What's your best play and your worst play, if you can recall them. And do you have any other, like, I know that you said you were signed with Puma and Gatorade. Congrats on the Gatorade signing, you know what I mean? If you need anybody to help you with with some money, get your AV system needs right.
Yep.
Let me know. Fair prices. But also, do you think you'll eventually be able to sign with Nike? Is that a goal of yours, or are you happy with Puma? This is off the record.
You know what? I had the option, and I actually chose Puma. And thank you for asking off the record. My goal, honestly, because the way this game starts is you are like a kind of a Colin Kaepernick, and you protest and you leave your college. Crazy. So then he starts signing with all these big time, like Nike and Gatorade and stuff. So I kind of want my guy to find a way to be like a Steve Nash, where his sponsor is like vitamin water or like Acer computers. That's my goal for my player.
So you've got kind of like a whole angle going.
Like an ethos for sure. And best play, worst play. I'd say worst play has to be getting the ball and thinking I was holding the forward button, and I just walked backwards, so it was over and back. And then Nick Nurse pulled me out of the game and benched me.
You know what that is? That's a Shackton the Fool right there, buddy.
It sucked. I was legit angry because I had practiced a bunch before that.
Shackton the Fool.
Best play, I would say, I blocked Michael Carter-Williams pretty good.
Okay, all right. That's nothing to shake a stick at right there. Yeah. He's a good player.
Ibaka did most of the work, and I hit Boucher with a really nice alley-oop a couple games ago.
Oh, and one last question: when you went for 10 points, what were you from the floor?
Oh, my season average from the floor is 31%.
Stuck it.
And yeah, I'm terrible. And but I'm working hard though. That's the
you know
point,
what?
right?
Listen, I'd like to see you out there with your short shorts on, and I'd like to maybe see you get out there before the rest of the boys and run some suicides, maybe.
Yeah, I think I need to
do some wall sits.
I'll tell you about this. Actually, sorry, I'll ask you about this. Should or should I not scan my face?
Oh, 100% scan your face.
Just scan your face, man. If whatever, who cares?
Yeah, I say go for it.
Yeah, do it. Either way, that way Freddie's actually in there. That's incredible.
Yeah. Okay. Good. This is good. I think we're living in the weird kind of escape realm enough. Let's go back to the past, Maddie. I think you're going to walk us through some draft stuff. So give yourself a sting, would you?
I'd like to start by saying, everybody, meet me at the Circle K. Bill, Ted, Beethoven, and Socrates, get out of the booth. We need to go back in time to 1999.
Oh, wow. Your segment has cool sounds. Mine has Nick Nurse coughing.
Oh. Guys, 1999, just as a little reminder of the year, what was going on. Some big things happened. Pamela and Tommy got divorced. If you remember Pam and Tommy Lee. Ricky Mania hit North America. Ricky Martin. People were going nuts. The Matrix came out. Pokemon Fever gripped the U.S. Tony Hawk landed the first ever 900.
Wow.
That was 99.
In 99. And the biggest thing to that we were all scared about, and we probably thought would be the scariest thing to happen in our lives, was Y2K.
Oh,
remember those days?
Mm-hmm.
Y2K, of course, yeah.
We've all had, it wasn't even about the internet. It was about all our computers just getting reset back to zero. Everybody's, playing Oregon Trail or Treasure Island or Treasure Mountain. What was it? And you lose all those scores. It was a terrifying time.
I used to like playing Day of the Tentacle. You ever play that game?
Oh, I never played that one.
Oh, sounds cool.
I loved Oregon Trail. Did anyone play Oregon Trail?
No, sorry. You totally lost me on the reference.
They had it at my school.
Yeah. You get to, name all your friends that are in your group, and they die along the way. You're lucky.
This is the Oregon Trail, buddy. This is no joke.
So back in 1999, now that we're all like remembering those days.
Yeah, we're back in.
Are we back in there?
Time, yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to the 1999 NBA draft in Washington D.C.
Even more sound effects. My God.
Okay, so the 1999 NBA draft was in Washington, D.C. on June 30th, 1999. Now, the top 10 picks in the draft, Chicago took Elton Brand, number 1. The Grizzlies took Steve Francis, number 2. Charlotte took Baron Davis, 3. 4. Lamar Odom went 4th to the Clippers. And number 5 went to Toronto, Jonathan Bender.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Such a shame.
And 6 through 10, we've got Wally Szczerbiak?
Wally Szczerbiak.
Wally Szczerbiak.
Wally, man.
Went to Minnesota. Washington took Richard Hamilton at 7. Cleveland took Andre Miller at 8. Phoenix took Sean Marion at 9.
Those are actually, and then if you look at, that's wow. Sorry to get, I'm excited.
Just one more.
Great draft.
Jason Terry went number 10 to Atlanta.
Man, that is a great draft.
Now, other notables that went, I don't really know of a couple of them, but they seem to have played a long time. Corey Maggette.
Maggette.
Corey Maggette.
Corey Maggette went 13th to Seattle. And Chicago took Meta World Peace at 16th.
A.K.A. Ron Artest. Oh, man. Yeah. Ronnie.
And, Jeff Foster went to G State at 21. Do you guys remember him?
Oh, Jeff Foster. Yeah. He's like synonymous with just like Lurch in Indiana.
Now, the deepest pick, though, in this draft went to the San Antonio Spurs. The second last pick, 57th overall, Manu Ginobili.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, they called him Gino Beely.
Gino Beely.
They called him Gino Beely in that draft. I remember that.
That's insane that he went 58th overall. I did not know that.
Wasn't Karolinko in that draft too?
Yeah.
AK-47.
Yeah, Karolinko went. Yeah, he was pretty good, right?
Can I just have if we look at the top 10 players?
Yeah.
Again, we will come to the conclusion that the Toronto Raptors picked far and away the worst player. The only player that did absolutely nothing in his career was picked by Toronto. Every other player in the top 10 of that draft played for almost 10 plus years.
It's pretty shocking. Like I'm looking at it now. It's
Who was the
terrible.
GM in 99? Who was it?
In 99, wasn't it Grunwald?
Was it Double G?
I think it might have been before Grunwald's, but
it might have been. But holy shit, what a bad pick.
And they traded him. They traded Bender for Antonio Davis, that August.
Oh, okay.
So Bender didn't even play for us.
Well, that's not bad then.
Yeah, fair enough. That's actually a good move. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Sorry, I take it all back.
Yeah, I take it all back. Too.
Also, sorry, Jonathan Bender. You know what I mean? What a name. I wonder if he was a boozer. What a last name for a booze hound.
Oh yeah. He'd be a legend.
So that doesn't look like the Raptors had any second round picks. Just Jonathan Bender at number 5, and they had the 12th pick, who was Alexander Rajovic. Do you guys remember him? He played 15 games.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I remember him only. Sorry, go ahead, Ian.
No, sorry. I'm just saying the next pick in the draft is Corey Maggette.
Corey Maggette was after he.
Yeah. How would you not pick this guy, Corey Maggette?
Oh, yeah. He was 13th.
Dude, he was a great player in college. I don't know what the hell they were thinking not getting Corey Maggette at 12.
Yeah.
He was I remember him being like the king of the free throw. Like that guy could just I feel like he was like very similar to DeRozan. Like he wasn't as well rounded as DeRozan, even though that seems weird to say. But he had such a thing that he did. He just went to the line like crazy. He was super efficient from the line.
He was a good player.
Mad bees.
Good player for years.
Bad knees, you said, Alan?
That's said Mad D's.
Mad deeds.
Bad knees?
D's, like Jack dude.
Sorry, say that again?
I said Mad D's or jacked as
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was jacked.
I love how we all like did like a rhyme time there, and we're like, sad bees? Or are you saying glad brie?
I'm saying Chad Lee.
And I also love that Matt had to turn off his little village music to hear Alan. Pardon me, sir. Let me just turn off this little Zelda track I have.
Now I've got another a draft award I'd like to give. A Waste of a Good Name award. What was that? Someone just toot.
Just a quick fart.
Waste of a Good Name award goes to Laurent Prophet. He's drafted 38th by Orlando. Played parts of 4 seasons with Washington and the Lakers. If only he was great.
I love whoever's ripping farts, by the way.
Who is that? Is that you?
It's got to be Ian.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I might just be like, oh, you know what it is? I think it's leaning on my coat. Sorry.
It sounded like a nice clean fart, but sorry.
That's a good excuse for farting. Just remember that in the future.
Guys, just to end off our little 1998 NBA draft, I have a little trivia for you. First, I'll ask Alan. Now, this is multiple choice. Who played the most seasons in this draft? Now, I'll give you 3 picks. Was it Sean Marion, Manu Ginobili, or Jason Terry?
Jason Terry.
Correct. Freddie? This one's for you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Who had the best field goal percentage? And I'm going to say they have to play at least 500 games. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll give you 3 picks. Okay. So we've got Jeff Foster. We've got a Andre Kirilenko.
Okay.
Or Elton Brand.
Ooh. I feel like I'm going to say Elton Brand, but I feel like it's freaking Jeff Foster.
Elton Brand is correct.
Ooh, okay, good.
He played 17 years in the NBA, and he had an even .500 field goal percentage.
He shot 2 buckets in 17 years.
Yeah. Okay, Ian, this one's for you.
Okay.
Now, which player in this draft had the most total points? Now, is it Baron Davis? Is it Sean Marion? Is it Elton Brand? Or is it Jason Terry?
Oh, man. That's tough. I would say, I'm going to say Jason Terry.
Jason Terry is correct. 18,881 points.
Oh, Terry longevity. I mean, I just like to think about Terry when he got dunked on by LeBron, but yeah, I guess he did a lot of
the
stuff.
nastiest dunks.
Yeah, he's the only player in this draft to hit 18,000.
One of the corniest dudes in the NBA. How are you going to have that sweatband the way he wears it and then double high socks? I'm sorry.
Dude.
It's too much.
I'm glad LeBron got his vengeance and dunked on him. That was nice.
I'm sorry, Alan. What is corny about getting a tattoo of the Larry O'Brien trophy and then winning it?
Yeah. You know what? You got me there. Nothing is corny about getting a tattoo of the Larry O'Brien trophy. Shout out to Marco Bellinelli, too.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I guess a bunch of guys have done that.
It's kind of nerdy.
Well,
Maddie,
guys, that was the 1999 NBA draft. I don't see any other standouts worth talking about. I don't know if you have anything you want to say about Lamar Odom, or
I'll add. You got to do it. Always got to do a shout out, in my opinion, to Frederick Weiss. He got dunked on viciously hard
Vince
by
Carter.
Vince Carter, arguably the best dunk of all time. If you Google Frederick Weiss, Matt, you will see what happened to him.
Was it in like it wasn't an NBA game, was it?
It was in the Olympics.
Yeah, because he's
against France.
He never played a game in the NBA.
Yeah, no, ruined his career. that dunk on.
Wow.
It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. But
Jeez.
so that's my piece. You guys want to add anything to this draft?
Maybe just one thing is who knows how fortunes turn and everything, but what would have happened to Lamar Odom if he didn't get drafted by the Clippers? You know, if they took Rip Hamilton instead or whatever. Who knows? The next pick was Toronto.
Yeah, that's true.
Would he have been amazing in Toronto, or would he have been washed away, or would he have been disgruntled? Who knows?
He probably would have been amazing.
We wouldn't have picked him.
He was a good player, man. Lamar there for a few years was pretty good.
He was, but I don't think the Raptors were smart enough to pick him. We would have just like moved down the line of like Trajan Langdon or whatever heck his name is.
Yeah, we would have moved down the line to the next player who like didn't show up.
Yeah.
Like we would have found a guy who wouldn't succeed.
Oh boy.
Ooh, I like that. That's like a low rumble fart. That's a
Someone's
new one.
starting a boat over there. What's going on?
Well, let's get out of 1999.
My neighbor's starting his motorcycle right
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Let's get back to 2020.
AKA I'm farting. That's another excuse for a good start.
yeah. Wow, you got a lot of
motorcycle beside me. You know.
Where do you live?
It's in the back. I'm in like the backyard, and his bike is like back there.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna be like, where do I live? Where the Harleys are, bro. Okay, let's finish this baby up with some quickish questions. What do you boys say?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, you want that
Maddie,
sting?
can you give me the sting? It wasn't very clear. Never is.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were doing there.
Me either. You know, we're having a laugh. Okay, let's do some quickish questions. You guys know how this works. I'm gonna stammer through some questions. I'm gonna try to make them make sense, and you guys got to answer as quick as humanly possible. No phoning a friend. No delaying. You got to give me the goods. Your first thought. Sound good?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go Alan, Ian, Matt. Alan.
Yo.
This is coming from Peter. Would you rather see the season be played out in outer space or underwater?
Outer space, obviously. That makes way more sense. Why would you want to play it underwater? There's nothing good underwater, man. Space is full of all the beautiful supernovas and planets. Why would we want to see that?
Profound.
Stars in the stars. Let's go.
Ian.
Yeah.
It's coming from Marco. Which raptor is currently succeeding at making sourdough starter, and why is it for sure Bobby Webster?
Oh, Bobby B. Webby? I mean, he's got a nice blazer on. He probably shops at Harry Rosen or whatever, so maybe. But I could see Kyle Lowry making some nice bread. He's got that big bum, you know what I mean? Filling it up. But he's probably, I picture Kyle Lowry right now wearing oven mitts this exact second. He's wearing oven mitts, taking something out of the oven right now. Picture that. He's leaned over. Actually, he's got a nice level oven. Sorry.
No, yeah, I bet you he does have a level up.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Mine's
He's not
not.
bending over.
Cheers.
No, he's not bending over.
Okay, Matt, this is coming from Tristan.
Okay.
Now, he attached a link. He says, I guess perhaps, I don't know if the Florida governor did this or what's going on, but Florida declares sports an essential service. So that's what he attached. And here's what he said. Here's a fun, bracket C, not fun, discussion. Are sports an essential service, Matt?
Oh, no, it's not an essential service, but I think mentally you could argue that we do need it because it's been tough. It's been tough not having, an outlet with sports. So I have to say no, though. We need, like, actual essential workers to be supported.
Fair.
I don't want to take away from them.
That was a fair, well-reasoned answer. We don't need any more of that, Matt. I'm kidding.
Matt's
Okay.
running for governor, apparently. He's got to write
Matt's
that.
running for governor, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Alan, this is coming from Adam. Adam says, haven't seen my jeans in a bit. Where are they?
On the roof, dude.
Adam, check the roof. Ian, this is coming from Thomas.
Okay.
If the NBA season takes place on an island, much like Mortal Kombat, which NBA player is Goro?
Let's say Rudy Gobert.
Yep. Oh God, I wish I didn't laugh so willingly at that. Okay, Matt, you have the last question here.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, no, this is a bit of a rotator, so this will be fun. But you get to answer first, Matt. So,
Sure.
Jonathan is asking, what would be in your final four of basketball moves? He gives examples. Skyhook, Dream Shake, Sham God, Michael Bradley illegal screen. So, Matt, pick a move. What should be in the final four, like the hierarchy, the Mount Rushmore of basketball moves? One move.
Like a spread eagle crowning over someone.
Yep, spread eagle crowning. I think
Yeah.
is it fair to say, guys? That's kind of like the Georgia dunk.
Yeah, or like we can elaborate that to mean like getting dunked on, getting crowned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crown,
Crown.
and like.
But I want
But
like
I do like spread eagle, and I could totally picture Matt thinks that the legs are like a perfect split. You know what I mean? Okay, Alan, what's a move that's in like the final four?
A move that's in the final four? I don't know. Like bouncing off the rim a bunch of times and slowly plopping in.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
that works.
Ian, what's
I got you. Got to say crossover. That's an iconic move. A lot of players throughout time have had from Tim Hardaway to AI to Kyrie.
Yeah, you got to go crossover. And Alan basically hit buzzer beater. And then I think I'll try and round it out by, you guys hit all the integral stuff, like a crowning and a buzzer beater and a crossover, or like step back three type thing. So I think I'll just go for a personal favorite, which is the chase down block.
Nice. The
Love me a
LeBron
good chase down.
Nobody did it better than Bron.
Nobody did it better than LeBron, but you want to know who was really surprisingly good at it? It was Danny Green.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also Tayshaun Prince.
Yes, Tayshaun Prince. And back to that draft, Andre Kirilenko was, I guess he wasn't a chase down guy, but he was a block machine. But that takes us to the end of the pod. Thanks, guys.
Oh man, thank you. It was so nice.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hey man, we got to talk some basketball through these difficult times. Alan, I know you're with Second City and Main Stage, and that's not exactly happening right now. But is there anything you got going on you want to talk about?
You know what? I'm doing a lot of Twitch, playing a lot of video games, and playing a lot of Sims. So if you want to know how my Sims are doing, just tweet at me, and I'll let you know what's going on. I have over 20 grandchildren and 12 children. So.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Sim Allen is busy.
Holy shit!
That is amazing. I love how Sims for you is just like pure banging as many people as you can.
What else is there in the game?
Oh God, that's awesome.
Alan Shane Lewis is Genghis Khan of fucking.
I know.
Half the town is related to me. It's kind of a problem.
I do feel like, Alan, someone needs to check on you when you decide to put all your kids in a pool and take away the ladder.
You know what? We got to get some of that real estate property opening up. Taking a lot of space. You need some more room. You only have 8 people per household. So yeah, sometimes you got to do the hard decisions of deleting pool ladders.
Fair enough. Ian, what's up, dude? You got it's weird times, obviously, but
You know what? Nothing specific. I'm just trying to enjoy it for what it is. Watch TV. Catch up on things. FaceTime with people. enjoy time with the people that you're with, and get through it, and we'll be watching sports again. Just try to keep a positive attitude. That's all.
Well, heck
What
yeah.
a dad thing to say.
Right?
You're
You know,
dad.
this guy's awesome.
This guy's a dad.
There you
Dad.
go. Exactly.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks so much for listening to the pod, everyone. Everyone stay safe.
Absolutely.
And we'll think of something basketball-y to talk about next week. And yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
out.
having us, guys. Be well. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Be well.
Bye.
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.